Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ironis Insights. I got another guest here, Demetrius Rouse. He is the president of RCITMS. Demetrius, thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Glad to be here.
Where are you calling from?
Houston, Texas.
Houston. Beautiful. Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for hopping on a Friday morning. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and why you started and how it led you to starting your company?
Sure, no problem. You can probably tell with the gray hairs. I mean, I've been in IT for 30 plus years. I started off as a computer technician at the same university that I graduated from. Got a chance to grow my craft there. Made it to the point where I actually got a chance to lead a campus for the university and really got into networking as server management. From there, I ended up moving about 20 years ago to Houston, Texas, and then got into managed services. At that point, I had a company reach out to me that said, "Hey, I kind of think we can do some business together," and wondered if they could, start a managed services practice with me leading it. And so I started that. I did that for about 3 to 4 years. Then I had another company reach out to me that said, "Hey, I got wind that you did this for them. Can you come over and do the same thing for us?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I was very fortunate. I didn't have to produce a resume in order to get, the last 5 or 6 jobs. But then I had another company reach out to me that said, "Hey, we want to do the same thing." And then back in 2020, I decided, you know what, instead of keep building these practices for other individuals so they can get rich, let me see if I can start my own. So that's where we developed RCITMS. So of
Got it.
course the ITMS is IT managed services. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, so it sounds like you must have been doing something right if people are asking you to to join their companies without even applying.
a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And I imagine, I mean, you've been in this industry for a while. I mean, you've probably seen a drastic change in, what you're actually doing on a daily basis, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, so now with RCITMS, how long have you guys been around?
We've been around 5 years. So,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So I did one of those crazy things. I mean, it was, during COVID, and everybody's like, "You've got to be absolutely insane to try to start a brand new business during
Right.
COVID where everybody is worried about their futures and their careers." But it actually turned out to be a great opportunity because a lot of companies hadn't planned for remote work and remote strategies. How do you connect to your core systems, especially if you're building dependent and everything is located still in server rooms and not necessarily migrated to the cloud? So it was perfect timing. So we've been fairly successful with growth year after year.
That's incredible. So who are you focused on helping right now?
Yeah, so I mean, what's funny is, IT is everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to the bank, your ATM is run by, technology, Internet of Things, and you go to the grocery store. I mean, it's the same thing. So you tend to get so many people that'll reach out to you, but we decided a while ago that we wanted to focus on specific verticals. We do professional services, so accounting firms, we do law firms, manufacturing, of course, being in Houston, oil and gas, but sometimes that market is cyclical. So, if they start dropping, they start selling things and they reduce, quite drastically. So we decided not to put all our eggs in the oil and gas basket and diversified. So we grab a little health and medical, and then veterinary clinics seem to really like us as well. So we support those. And it's funny with the vet clinics, we tell people that we kill them with kindness and kittens. So it's kind of crazy.
Killing with kindness and kittens. I love that. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, so it's kind of a mixed bag, right? And are you, I mean, it sounds like, you've worked your whole way through your career path with, I guess, referrals and word of mouth and, just by your reputation itself. Is that how you're still getting your business these days?
Yeah, I mean, we recently launched a cold calling campaign um, back about 4 months ago. But other than that, yeah, through the entire stay, it's been reputation and then word of mouth. Our focus is not necessarily just grabbing clients for the sake of grabbing a new label. We like to build relationships, and those
Yeah.
relationships outlast, whether or not we remain in business or not. We ultimately just like helping people, so we're going to help in any way we can. So that's how we've grown year after year, and even the clients will recommend us to some of the people that they know.
Yeah, I mean that's just a true testament to one, who you are as a person, and two, the value that you bring. And obviously, you're doing a great job. When you can get those referrals like that, there's not a really bigger compliment you can receive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can always do better. I mean, we should try to at least ask some of our current clients, hey, can you refer us? But we don't even do that. So, and technically, I'm the salesperson, for
Okay,
the organization. So, and I'm not good at sales, but I get excited about the technology and
you
the
know you
things
you
that
know the
we do.
product, right?
Yeah, I know the product. So once I get excited, I like to get you excited about it. And then I'm not going to sell you anything that you don't need. So we just have conversations and we talk it through. And next thing you know, we get a referral. So that's how it
One
happens.
could argue that just knowing the product and asking the right questions and building that relationship and trust with someone is actually a back end way of saying that's the best way at sales. So,
Yeah, yeah. You give a good point there. And one client of ours said, I trust my lawyer, I trust my bank, and I trust my IT. So that client, and that's a high accolade to hear that, to
yeah.
be recognized in those categories. But we truly like for them to call us about anything. If there's a question that's related to IT, or sometimes it's, who do we know in the industry, or who are our clients, and maybe some of our clients can partner together. I mean, our mantra and what we have on our website is connections made easy. So we want to connect you with who can help you grow your business as well as ours.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic too, and it's all about connecting the dots, right? Whether you're making money on it or not, it's if you have someone that can offer a specific service that you know and you've partnered with in the past, or if it's just a personal relationship and you can give that information to another. I mean that value there, it's really something special because it takes a certain type of person or company to take the time to do that when it's not necessarily affecting their bottom line, but
Right.
it actually is because
Yeah.
they see that people don't realize that actually does affect your bottom line because they see you as that much more of a resource.
Yes, yes, a value add resource. And to your point, if you put money first, yeah, I mean, you'll do great for the first year or two. But we want repeatable business. We want long-term, partners in this. So that way, again, we can scale and grow and then build on top of that strong foundation. So we don't put the money first. I mean, we put the help first. We follow, the guidance of servant leadership. That's what we try to do. We ask you, what can we do to help you, not the other way around.
Yeah, I don't have to ask, but I'm pretty sure you probably retain the majority of your clients once that contract is up, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's high retention, and I'm not going to say, we're everything to everybody. We
Yeah.
can't be. I mean, again, we try to stay in our lane. We don't, try to add services that we don't have the skill set for.
Hmm.
But to the original point, and we have partners in the industry that we can bring in that supplement. And sometimes, clients will outgrow us. So we focus on the small to medium sized companies, and we have a couple of enterprise companies, but we supplement their IT instead of trying to be everything to them, because we truly just can't. So that transparency is huge, and it
Yeah,
helps with the
exactly. It's like
retention.
you work at what you're best at, right? If you can't do it, or if it's something out of your scope, outsource it, work with a partner, and that's exactly right. I mean, being a
Yeah,
part with that, especially with the enterprise companies, right? They
yeah.
require um, a lot more than an SMB. So
Yeah, and I'm getting older. I like my sleep, so I want to sleep at night. I don't want to promise something and then not be able to deliver it and be up all night, worrying about it. So yeah, we stay in our lane.
they say, being self-employed and having your own company is great. You get to pick any 80 to 120 hours a week you want to work.
Any. That's right. That's right. You're always on. So
Yeah, exactly right. That's awesome. So actually, now on that note, it brings me to my next point. Uh, was it a difficult transition for you to, be a founder and starting to wear many hats and running your business and then hiring employees when you were working for someone else before? Was that a difficult transition for you?
heck yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where, you don't know what you don't know. But,
Yeah.
you know, I, I surround myself with people smarter than I am, so that way I don't have to work quite as hard. I
Mhm.
can always defer to them. I mean, of course, in college, I took accounting and, I read, finance for the non-financial manager, and I still can't spell accounting. So, that was absolutely terrifying to know that you had to run an organization. And then, also being involved in, the HR aspect
Yeah.
and making sure that, you cross your T's and dot your I's. And then the government, of course, wants to ask you about, hey, have you applied for this? Or are you compliant in this area? And then tax time, instead of going from the annual, now you're paying quarterly. So there were so many things that were unknown.
Yeah.
But again, having the connections made it, more palatable. You learn a lot. It's consistent learning, continuous learning. You're not going to stop or slow that aspect down. But from the actual commercial side of things, a lot of it I was already doing. I was already working with legal and doing, proposals and terms and conditions and being able to understand what those mean and reliability and governance and deliverables and all of that, being able to follow a framework that's out there like ITIL. So we were already doing that, so that made it easier to wear those hats. It was just the business side of it that kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's something you never handled before, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, like you mentioned, at HR and hiring employees and
Ugh,
benefits, it's like a whole nother animal. Uh,
absolutely.
how many employees do you have now?
We have 11.
11. Wow. I mean, so you guys must have grown pretty quick. I mean, 5 years, you got 11 full time. I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We're doing pretty good. We're again we're trying to grab more of the monthly recurring revenue with
yeah.
the managed services side of things.
Mhm.
But we also resell products, and we're vendor resellers of things like internet services. We also are a Microsoft cloud solutions provider, so we sell all things Microsoft. And then we have brokers that assist with like phone systems and things of that nature. So we've got a good mix of sales and services.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's excellent. So for this year, I mean, we're already towards the end of February. What are your goals for this year?
Oh my goodness. So with that kind of growth, one of the things that you end up recognizing is um, you have to go back to your grassroots, so to speak, and then rebuild the foundation. So
Mhm.
we checked the boxes so we could get moving, from an operational standpoint. But when we reviewed our operational maturity model, I mean, we took a look at the fact that, we're still reactionary on a lot of things that we should have already progressed on. So we're taking a step back this year, going back and revamping some of those things. I mean, it's the same three-legged stool, the people, the processes, the technology. And we're trying to revamp all of those and build a stronger team with more training, more specialized training for the individuals, documentation and processing. I mean, that again, continuous improvement there. And then the technology, we outgrew some of the platforms that we had instilled initially. So The IT director has been very diligent about selecting, better tools, and then overall, better measurable business outcomes. I mean, that's what we're trying to accomplish there. So instead of just, ticket volumes, we're trying to see, how we can optimize and transform, the businesses that we work with and the partnerships that we have.
I mean, I think that you really nailed it there when you're talking about, measuring a performance. That's what most companies want to hear. How can, how can you help and how can you show me this is gonna protect us,
Yep.
potentially save us money down the line, right? Because they are protected, right?
Right.
I mean, you don't have to know, you don't have to, be a genius in this industry to understand that, if you do get hacked, that company doesn't last much longer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they were saying that the average small business, if they get hacked, they've got about a year to try to figure it out, and then most of them go out of business, within that year. So,
Yeah,
that's a dangerous, statistic. So, we try to do our due diligence, by implementing leading practices with cybersecurity. We're an MSP. We're not an MSSP. So we have third party contractors that focus on cybersecurity. That's what their job is. That's where we have, the subject matter experts. So we partner with them. So our leading practice is to, put in, the firewalls and the, endpoint detection and management and response software, because gone are the days of just putting in antivirus and remote monitoring and management. So we're going to focus on keeping everything patched and updated. But we're going to bring in the cybersecurity experts that are going to do an evaluation and a risk assessment and tell us how the cow ate the cabbage, full transparency. So if we haven't done our job, they're going to tell us, and then we're going to let the client know, here's some gaps, but here's what we can do to remediate those. So yeah,
yeah,
you're right. Cybersecurity is very, very large right now.
yeah. Now, especially, with all the changes we're seeing out there, with, automations, AI. It's I think one of the biggest things is educating, especially these SMBs, exactly that, because a lot of them think, well, why would they attack us? Because right now it's an umbrella campaign that they can just send out attacking anyone and everything.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and it doesn't matter if you're worth, 100 million, 10 million, 1 million, 500,000. That doesn't cost them any extra to ping you or to ping someone
yeah.
else.
Yeah, they want the easy target. So,
Yeah.
if there's no two-factor authentication that's built in, if you're not, monitoring the web traffic for interesting or nefarious things that are trying to do stuff, I mean, you have to have, zero trust protection in your environment. So yeah, gone are the days of, I mean, it's the fact that, on the dark web, they sell cybersecurity hacking kits. You can buy a kit and then launch your own cyber attack on companies. So, you've got people that are just bored out there seeing what they can do. So, if you make it easy for them, they're going to get in, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, it's scary, but it's not so much that um it's it's really important that we just explain to these companies that this is something that can be managed if it's done properly, right? And you
Right.
want to avoid it from actually happening,
Yeah.
in the future. Now,
Yeah.
I guess if you had a magic wand right now and you could fix something, anything, what would you fix? What would you
It,
like?
it, yeah, it probably would be that. I mean, I would love to see.
Education?
Yeah, I mean the education side of it, of course. I mean, there's the social engineering side of it. I mean, so with the human element, there's always going to be people that make the mistakes, and that's one thing that we don't do. Well, actually, I'll say two things. I mean, we don't sell to fear. that's absolutely where we don't live.
Yeah.
We're going to try to educate you more so than anything else.
Yeah.
But the second thing is we don't talk down to you. We're going to talk to you just like, any other person that, puts pants on one leg at a time. So the education side of it is extremely important. But with where things are changing with AI and automation, you can't have 24 by 7 eyes on glass and seeing everything at all times unless you're willing to spend big money on it. And these small to medium sized businesses, that's just not in the budget. So if I were to change anything, I would like to see, more of the AI and automation that basically protects and builds a perfect utopia so outside hackers can't get into your system and stop you completely from getting owned. If we
Mhm.
could do that, then we can focus on our business and not focus as much on IT. And I know it sounds like, I'm trying to take, money out of my business and the opportunities that we have, but really just the fact that we have to, in my opinion, spend so much money on protecting ourselves against bad actors. I mean, it just ruins the whole concept of how awesome information technology truly can be.
Yeah, I mean, and you make a great point. I mean, what companies want to do is focus on their business, right? And
Yes.
that's really where you come in, right? It's to alleviate that pressure and that headache to the experts to protect them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of and even the managed services providers. I mean, we have to take it, not only from the let's protect, our clients, we have to protect ourselves as well because,
Yep.
we have access to a lot of their information. So now what's been increased is, the insurance that we have to pay
Hmm.
in order to protect ourselves and to be covered. So it's a snowball effect. As our insurance rates and the coverage of protection increases, then that trickles down to the client because we have to pass that cost along somewhere. And then they're experiencing the same thing. I mean, I'm still getting these, you know, 250 line spreadsheets that our clients are asking us to fill out that says, "Hey, are we protected?" and filling those out and submitting to their insurance brokers. And I mean, again, that spends a lot of time instead of focusing on their core business approach and productivity. So yeah, I would love to get rid of all of that so we can get back to business.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of the most important ways to help save someone some money is just becoming more efficient with, the automation where you can, right? You have someone that could focus on their, business or money-making activities, their core responsibility versus, filling out a report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Well, this is awesome, Demetrius. I really I really appreciate your time. Where can the viewers find you, your company?
Yeah, sure. So RCITMS.com. You can search Demetrius Rouse on LinkedIn. There are a couple of Demetrius Rouses in the United States. So the one that's doing bad stuff and getting arrested, that's not me. You click on the other one. That's the one that you want to look for. But yeah. So other than that, I mean, not a huge social media presence, but you get a chance to see what I've done in the world. So.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll put your website and LinkedIn below the video here. Thanks again for your time. I really appreciate it, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Take care.